From your point of view, Derek, how do you keep the focus of the players in the right place? Because you've not won as many games as you would want to. You've very openly said to us, we need to win more football matches. It's pretty straightforward. How do you stop them focusing on the outcome when you're not winning and get them focused on the performance and those elements that you're encouraged by?
Yeah, I mean, the performance we've been really encouraged by, and it's just the major aspects have been, as I keep on saying, individual errors. We've made so many of them when we've been on top of a game, the opposition got a goal, and we haven't capitalised on the errors that other teams have made when we've been on top of the game. So they're the main aspects that we have to improve on. We know that. We've got a short space of time between now and the end of the season, 16 games to go, but we are 4 points from the team above us, and we need to close the gap.
Do you find you have to pick people up when you don't win games? Playing staff, members of your staff, people around the club. Is there a sort of motivational sort of psychology almost element, almost therapy?
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't have to, because as an individual that you should be able to do that yourself, because that's the occupation you are in. But you have to act in a certain way. You have to then organise and put a team together and put training together, speak in the proper way to keep them going, because that's the only way that you're going to succeed. And I think that you're not always going to be on the front foot. Sometimes you are going to be in adversity, and it's how you come out of that. And adversity doesn't always last a long time. But when you come out of it, you become in a much better position. And all the hard work that no one sees from behind the scenes, all the negativity that people don't see that you've had to deal with, might be injuries, might be loss of form, then that all comes through in the end. And you sit back and you think, well, it happened for a reason, but you don't want it to happen, but it might happen for a reason.
How much in that regard does past experience, water that's gone under the bridge, help? The fact that you've been through similar things, not necessarily exactly the same things before, and I guess you'll have done that, and maybe some of your players might not have done.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably under 5% of managers that have been through what I've been through in my managerial career. So that has to be that, I've got that experience. I know what it is to win titles. I know what it is to win promotion. I know what it is to fend off relegation as well. So I think that is really important, and I have to, portray that to the staff and the players.
Do you ever have a moment where you go, why me? Why is this all happening to me?
Yes, majority of the time when I see some of the officiating on a Saturday, I think it's been really poor. I think that the number of decisions that we haven't gone our way this year has been astronomical, and we have a championship referee on charge on Saturday, and Andy Davis. I think that is important for the fixture that we're going into. It doesn't make it right that we get a big one for this game when we've had officiating that hasn't been correct from the point of view of made major decisions in error this season that has affected us from a points point of view.
Does it frustrate you when you hear things like a Premier League referee's made a mistake, they're going to go down to the Championship? A Championship referee's made a mistake, they'll do some games in League 1 and 2. Do you feel like almost the lower divisions...
Yeah, we've seen it
a
this...
punishment almost.
Yeah, we've seen a wee bit this season of newer referees getting an opportunity in League 2. It's their first season in League 2. When else are they going to get their opportunity to make mistakes? That's the wording. But that's incorrect. It's how are you going to give them an opportunity to succeed and become a really good referee, not to make mistakes, because they shouldn't be in the game to make mistakes. They should be in the game to make the correct decision. And if they're making too many mistakes, then they shouldn't be in League 2. They should be not refereeing at all, so to speak. But we want to see the best referees in our division making the correct decisions all the time.
this is one of those games, isn't it, that means a lot to your fan base. The last one you had against Fleetwood was incredibly successful for you. How much do you take from that into this?
Yeah, we've got to. I think that to win 4-2 in a derby match was very good for us because it gave us the 3 points. But not only that, we've got Andrew Dallas scoring goals. We've got Daka scoring his first goal in the campaign. So did Callum Cook. But from a supporter point of view, from a team point of view, it's an opportunity for us to try and get 3 points because it's the next game.
How different are these games where the teams have been playing each other for year after year after year after year, and that sort of builds up that rivalry?
Yeah, I mean, we understand how Accrington play. We understand what they do. We have got an official that is coming to the game because he's a championship official, which is important. But because of the magnitude, of the game on Saturday.
I guess that shows that outside of Morecambe and Accrington, other people understand that this is a local rivalry and it's important. Is that fair to say?
I think so. I think that we've had that in the past, and it's important that everyone understands the game. And the game for us is to get 3 points because we want to close the gap between ourselves and Accrington. I've
seldom seen or heard you, Derek, as unhappy as you were after the fixture against Accrington earlier in the season with your team's performance. Does that have any bearing? Will you remind the players about that?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't play well on the day. We were poor. We didn't deal well with the occasion on the day, but that was earlier in the season, and we have changed a lot since then. But on the day, we didn't play well enough.
It's worth 3 points to you. Clearly, you want to be putting 3 points on the board as often as possible. Accrington, one of that group of teams. I think they're 7 points away, aren't they? Is this a double thing? You can take 3 points, but you can also increase pressure on them.
Yeah, I think that it's got to be the case because 3 points takes us to 4 points on them with 15 games to go. So we've got to look at it in that way. It gives us that opportunity because we're playing them on Saturday.
There's a fair bit of familiarity between the coaching staffs, between some of the playing staff, obviously the fan bases we've talked about. How does that impact things? I mean, for example, Jed Brannan, I know, is someone you know really well. You brought here to the football club, and he was your predecessor in this role. Does knowing people in the other setup make any difference?
I don't think so. I think that it's all on the game, it's all on the players and how they perform. We understand how Accrington want to play, but backroom staff wise doesn't really aspect. I've known Jed for many years. I played with him at Motherwell, and I took him in here as his first team coach.
And the bigger picture of that league table, have you got an idea of how many points you're going to need?
We need to win the next game, and we need to win more games than the team that's above us at this moment in time. We need to win more games than the team that's below us, and that's the reality of the situation. We're in a 3-club race at this moment in time. Can we make it more than that? We can, but we have to win football matches to do that.
Do you think it helps to simplify it like that and to not look at all the other factors and all the other stuff that's going on?
Well, the game is simple, complicated by idiots, and I think that it's a game where we've got to win football matches, and we all think that we're smarter than the next person. We're not. We're all the same. We're all human beings, and we should all be in the world to make it a better place.
I'll put myself in the box, Mark, idiots, for asking you about the league table. Personnel-wise, is there anything new to report?
No.
That's is that an encouraging thing?
Yes, yeah. I mean, we're at full strength going into this game, and we've got a pool of players that are ready to go. Yes, we've got a couple of injuries, but I would say we're at full strength.
Is that a good time, especially given the way the fixtures go and the fact that it's so busy going through this time of year? Because you're probably going to need a squad, aren't you, rather than 11 and a couple of subs?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the start of the season, we had younger players on the bench. Now we don't have that. We have senior players that are going to be left out of the 18-man squad. So that is important because we've got competition for places now, and we haven't had that for a long time.
Does it make a real difference when you look and turn it and look at your subs bench and think,
Yeah.
all these guys can impact the game?
Yeah, we've got to that stage now where we've got players that can come in and play. We've got players that are going to miss out in the 18. It's not great for them, but it means that we have competition all over the pitch.
Get money for your old phone, MazumaMobile.com.